everybody, Victoria Lampini here, and today I am going to show you a basic tutorial for how to make rain in Maya that is visible to the Arnold renderer. So first, I'm going to set up a scene to make everything visible. So give me a second, let me pause. Okay, here we've got a bit of an environment, just a little bit to show things off a little better. And first let's start off by going to the FX tab. We'll go to End Particles and go to Create Emitter. When we go to Emitter, let's go from emitter type from Omni to volume. Now let's scale this up a bit, flatten it down, so it fits inside here. As you can see, it's dropping down like rain, but it doesn't really look like rain. So let's go to Particle and go to Shading, go from Points to Tube. Tail size. Make them extra small. Let's also bump up the amount of particles per second right here. So let's bump it up to maybe 600. And also, we don't want it to be going through the ground, so let's select the ground, go to End Cloth, and choose Create Passive Collider. Now we don't want the particles to just be sticking to it. So let's go to Particle, go to let me see. Collisions, yes, collisions. Let's give it a little bit of a bounce, just a little bit. And take down a bit of the friction. Also, the lifespan, let's not make it live forever. Let's take it to constant and make the lifespan 11.4. Okay, it's not living long enough, so let's bump it up a little bit more to 11.9. Okay, that's starting to look good. The thing is, these particles in the Arnold renderer see that? Those circles. Doesn't really look like rain, does it? It looks more like snow, right? But that's how it appears in the Arnold renderer. Yeah. So what we've got to do is we've got to create something that that looks a little better than this. Let's bring it down a little bit. So what we can do is that we can create an instancer, something that looks a little more like a raindrop. So what we're going to do is going to go down here, or go to Poly Modeling, and we're going to create a sphere. We're going to scale the sphere down. maybe give it a less subdivisions. Right click vertex, self-select, cool. Now this is looking more like the shape of a raindrop. Now let's create a material for this. So let's go to Hypershade, go to Arnold, AI Standard Surface. Let's go to Presets, go to the Clearwater preset, and click Replace. Then we modify this a bit, take down the transmission a little bit, above the IOR a bit, and add a tiny bit of color. Let's call this material water and add it to this raindrop. Now let's turn these particles from tube to streak so that they won't be visible in the render along with this. We'll call this sphere a raindrop. And we're going to select this raindrop, and we're going to control select particle 1, go up to end particles, and select instancer. First, let's click on this box here, go to edit, reset settings, make sure everything is reset, and click create. Makes things a little bit slower. But as you can see, these raindrops are now attached to the particles. Let's see. That definitely does look a lot better, doesn't it? Okay, I'm just gonna go back to end particles. I'm gonna bump up the lifespan just a little bit more so that it lasts a little bit longer when it hits the ground. Now you can see it's kind of bouncing off a bit, and that's what we want. If you look really closely, you can see them bouncing a bit, the streaks. Now we also want to be able to see the splashes when it hits the ground, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to end particle 1, we're going to go to end particles, and we're going to go to particle collision event editor. Now we're going to set an event name to splash. Event type will be emit. Number of particles will be just 3. Spread will be a lot. and inherent velocity will be about 6.623. Again, you should really try and tweak up and modify these to your liking to see if you can get a special look that maybe you might like. These are just the basics of the tutorial so you can further learn on your own. So we've got these, and we're going to create event. Now let's see what we've got. Oh, that looks great. Looks like it's starting to form some puddles. Some splashy puddles. But first, let's do something else. Instead of on lifespan for particle 2, instead of let forever, let's do random range. Make the lifespan 0.4 and the lifespan random 0.05. Let's see how that does. Again, feel free to change up the values for a lot of these things so that you can get one to your liking. As you can see, that kind of slows down the playing, doesn't it? So that's because the lifespan is a little high, so let's try to bump down the lifespan a bit for both of these things. Yeah, you gotta be really careful with the with how certain things can slow things down. Yeah, it's still lasting a little bit long, so again, you should try this too. Try to really mess around with these values. So now it's creating little splashes. Now it's creating little splashes, so the raindrops aren't just disappearing. But still, those particles are not going to be visible. So what we're going to do is we're going to create another polygon, another sphere. Going to scale it down, grab the top vertex to make it a bit like that. Again, we're going to add the water material to it. We're going to call this splash drop. Move it out of the way. We're going to select the splash drop and select the particle 2, and once again we're going to create an instancer. Okay, that's kind of big. Those are kind of big. So let's scale it down a little bit. That's a little better, yeah. Now let's play this and see how it looks in the renderer. Let me see if I can bump down this for a bit. Give it a little less detail to make it a little more visible. And let's add a few more raindrops. Let's also zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Not bad, huh? Again, you can play around with the values, but this is basically the absolute basics of how to do it, so feel free to change things up a bit yourself if you want to change a few things yourself. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to check out others to keep improving your skills in Maya. I hope you all enjoyed this basic tutorial. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment. Thanks for watching. Bye.